Chosen one, discover why your dog is not with you by chance. What if I told you that your dog's presence in your life isn't a mere coincidence, but part of a divine plan set in motion long before you were born? For the chosen ones, understanding this truth changes everything. Have you ever wondered why your dog seems to know exactly what you're feeling, even before you do? Why they appear in your life at precisely the moments you need them most? Why they sometimes stare intently at empty spaces, as if seeing something beyond our comprehension? Today I'm sharing something that has never been revealed before, a truth that has been hidden through the ages, passed down only through ancient spiritual traditions. This isn't just another story about the bond between humans and their pets. This is about discovering your true purpose, about understanding why certain souls are chosen to carry a special light, and why these chosen ones are always accompanied by these extraordinary guardians. What you're about to learn will forever transform how you see your relationship with your dog. You'll understand why they react differently around certain people, why they seem to protect you from unseen forces, and most importantly, why they chose you. By the end of this journey, you'll discover the ancient wisdom about dogs as spiritual protectors, signs that reveal if you're one of the chosen one, how to recognize and strengthen your spiritual connection with your dog, why this bond transcends even death itself. Before we begin this extraordinary revelation, I want to know if you've experienced something similar. Has your dog ever displayed behavior that seemed beyond ordinary animal instinct? Have they ever protected you from something you couldn't see? If you felt this special connection, type 777 in the comments below, because what I'm about to share will confirm everything you've always sensed but never fully understood. Stay with me, because this knowledge has been waiting for centuries to reach the right souls. And if you're watching this now, it's no coincidence, just like it's no coincidence that your dog found their way to you. Section 1. Ancient wisdom, dogs as spiritual guardians. Have you ever wondered why ancient civilizations held dogs in such high regard? Why these faithful companions were depicted in sacred texts and temple walls across cultures? What did our ancestors know about dogs that we've forgotten in modern times? Let me take you back to ancient Egypt, where this profound truth first emerged. In the grand halls of Karnak Temple, circa 2686 BC, priests would carefully document their observations of something extraordinary, the unique behavior of sacred dogs that guarded the temple grounds. These weren't ordinary temple guardians. The priests noticed these dogs would often become alert and protective, not against visible threats, but against something unseen. The most compelling account comes from the writings of High Priest Amenemhat, who served during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu. He described a remarkable incident that changed how Egyptians viewed these creatures forever. One night during a sacred ceremony, a temple dog named Anpu, named after Anubis, began acting strangely. The dog positioned itself between the priests and the western wall of the temple, refusing to move. Hours later, that very wall collapsed, but not a single soul was harmed. The dog had sensed the impending danger long before any human could. This event led to the establishment of the Order of the Sacred Guardians, where specially chosen dogs were trained to protect not just the physical temple, but its spiritual sanctity. These dogs became known as K-guards, protectors of the soul. But Egypt wasn't alone in recognizing this profound connection. In ancient Mesopotamia, the Babylonians believed dogs could see what humans couldn't, the shadows between worlds. Their sacred texts speak of shepherd, guides, dogs who led lost souls back to the light. These weren't mere superstitions. They were observations passed down through generations of spiritual leaders. The Celtic Druids took this understanding even further. They believed certain dogs were chosen by the Old Ones, spiritual entities who took canine form to walk among humans. In their ancient manuscripts, they described how these dogs would appear to people at crucial moments in their lives, often during periods of great transformation or spiritual awakening. But perhaps the most profound evidence comes from early Christian texts that were only recently discovered. In the fragments of the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, there's a fascinating passage where Jesus himself speaks of faithful guardians in earthly form, beings who would help guide and protect those carrying divine light. These ancient civilizations understood something we're only beginning to rediscover. Dogs aren't just companions. They're spiritual bridges connecting the seen and unseen worlds. Think about it. When your dog stares intently at an empty corner of your room, are they really seeing nothing? When they become protective for no apparent reason, is there truly no threat? The ancients would say your dog is fulfilling their sacred purpose, guarding not just your physical being, but your very soul. This wisdom wasn't meant to be lost to time. It was preserved by secret societies, passed down through generations of spiritual leaders waiting for the right moment. Waiting for the right moment. Waiting for the chosen ones to rediscover it. And now, as you're beginning to understand your dog's true nature, you might be wondering, why did they choose you? What makes certain souls deserve such divine protection? The answer lies in understanding who the chosen ones are and why they need these spiritual guardians more than anyone else. But before we explore that profound truth, I want you to reflect on something. Have you ever noticed your dog behaving in ways that seem to align perfectly with moments of spiritual significance in your life? Share your experience in the comments below, because what I'm about to reveal next will help you understand why these moments were far from random coincidences. You see, being chosen isn't about being special. It's about carrying a specific energy, a light that needs protection. And that's exactly what we're going to explore next. Section 2. Signs you're a chosen one. Have you ever noticed that everything in your life seems to happen with greater intensity than others experience? That you feel emotions more deeply, sense energies more acutely, and face challenges that others rarely encounter? That strangers are inexplicably drawn to share their deepest struggles with you, as if recognizing something special in your presence? These aren't random occurrences. They are signs of being a chosen one, a soul selected for a greater purpose. In ancient biblical times, there was a young shepherd named David. Before he became king, he was known for his unique connection with animals, particularly his ability to face wild beasts that threatened his flock. The scriptures tell us that David fought both a lion and a bear, protecting his sheep with a courage that seemed beyond human capacity. But what's often overlooked is how he achieved these remarkable feats, through a divine connection that marked him as chosen. Just as David was chosen for his special mission, certain souls today carry a similar divine marking. These chosen ones often discover their unique nature through their extraordinary connection with dogs. They're modern-day spiritual guardians. They're modern-day spiritual guardians. Let me share a story that illuminates this truth. Sarah, a woman from Boston, always felt different. Since childhood, she experienced what others called strange coincidences. She would know when someone needed help before they asked, sense danger before it manifested, and most notably, her dogs would react to these intuitions in inexplicable ways. One winter night, her German shepherd, Max, became unusually agitated. He paced the floor, whining and blocking Sarah's path to the door. Despite having no logical reason, Sarah decided to trust Max's behavior and canceled her plans to drive to a friend's house. Later that night, she learned that a major accident had occurred exactly where she would have been driving. This wasn't just animal instinct. It was a manifestation of the unique energy the chosen ones carry, a light that both attracts and disturbs the forces around them. The chosen ones often share distinct characteristics that set them apart. They experience unusual fatigue in crowded places, as if absorbing the energy of those around them. Their dreams are vivid and often prophetic, much like the biblical prophets of old. They attract both intense light and darkness, facing unique spiritual challenges. Animals, especially dogs, respond to them differently, often serving as their protectors. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, there's mention of light bearers, individuals who carried a special energy that could influence the natural and supernatural worlds. Today's chosen ones carry this same light, though many haven't realized their true nature. Think about your own experiences. Have you noticed how your dog responds differently when you're processing deep emotions? How they position themselves between you and certain people? How they seem to guard you not just physically but energetically? This is because your dog recognizes what you might not yet fully understand, your special role in the divine plan. The ancient Essenes, a mystical Jewish sect, believed that certain souls were marked for a greater purpose, and these souls would be accompanied by spiritual guardians in physical form. Your dog's presence in your life is a living testament to this ancient wisdom. But being chosen comes with both gifts and responsibilities. The light you carry naturally attracts forces that seek to dim it. This is why your dog's protective presence is so crucial. They serve as a buffer, a guardian against energies that might otherwise overwhelm you. Have you found yourself nodding along, recognizing these patterns in your own life? Has your dog displayed behaviors that seem to confirm this deep spiritual connection? Share your experience in the comments below, because what I'm about to reveal next will help you understand how to harness this special connection and protect yourself while fulfilling your greater purpose. As we delve deeper into understanding this sacred bond between chosen ones and their spiritual guardians, you'll discover how your dog not only protects you, but also guides you toward your true destiny. Stay with me, because the next revelation will transform how you see your role in this divine partnership. Section 3. The divine timing of your meeting. Have you ever wondered why your dog entered your life at that precise moment? When everything seemed to be falling apart, or when you stood at a crossroads? What if I told you that this timing wasn't just a coincidence, but part of an ancient divine orchestration? Let me share a profound truth that has been whispered through the ages. From the hallowed halls of temples to the sacred texts of spiritual masters, in the Book of Tobit, an ancient biblical text, we find a remarkable story. A young man named Tobias embarks on a perilous journey, and mysteriously, a dog appears to accompany him and his angelic guide. This wasn't just any dog. It was a divine messenger sent to protect and guide him through his destiny. This ancient wisdom echoes through time, reaching into our modern world, where countless chosen ones share stories that defy logical explanation. Consider Sarah's story, a woman who lost everything in a devastating fire. In her darkest hour, when hope seemed lost, a stray dog appeared at her doorstep, refusing to leave. This dog, later named Grace, had traveled through 3 states, somehow finding its way to the exact person who needed her most. Or think about Michael, a veteran struggling with invisible wounds. On the day he decided to end it all, a shelter dog broke free from its leash during a walk, running straight to him, laying its head on his lap. That dog became his reason to live, his guardian through the healing journey. These aren't mere coincidences. They're part of a greater design, a sacred pattern that the ancients understood well. In Egyptian mythology, Anubis, the divine guardian, chose specific souls to protect. The Greeks believed that dogs were messengers from the gods, appearing at crucial moments to guide lost souls back to their path. But here's what most people don't realize. Dogs don't just randomly enter our lives. They are sent as guardians, chosen specifically for certain souls, waiting for the perfect moment to appear. Think back to how your dog came into your life. Was it during a time of great change, a period of loss, a moment of questioning, or perhaps when you felt most alone? The chosen ones often report that their dogs arrived during major life transition, after significant losses, in moments of deep spiritual awakening. When they stood at critical crossroads, this divine timing serves a greater purpose. Your dog isn't just there to provide companionship. They're there to guide you toward your true destiny. Ancient spiritual texts speak of soul contracts, agreements made before birth, where certain spirits choose to walk beside us. Your dog may have made this sacred pact with you, waiting patiently in the spiritual realm for the perfect moment to find you. But here's something even more remarkable. Many chosen ones report that their dogs seem to know them instantly, as if they had been waiting their whole lives for this reunion. This immediate recognition, this instant bond, is a sign of a connection that transcends time itself. The timing of your meeting was orchestrated by forces beyond our understanding. Every detail, every seeming coincidence, was carefully arranged to bring you together at exactly the right moment. And now that you understand this truth, you might begin to see your journey together in a new light. Every challenge that led to your meeting, every obstacle that seemed to stand in your way, was part of this divine choreography. Before we delve deeper into how your dog protects you spiritually, I want you to reflect on something. What was happening in your life when your dog found you? Did it seem like a random event at the time, or did you sense deep down that something greater was at work? Share your story in comments below, because what you're about to discover next will reveal how your dog has been protecting you in ways you never imagined. Remember, in the grand tapestry of existence, there are no accidents, no random encounters. Your dog found you because they were always meant to be your guardian, your guide, your spiritual protector. And this is just the beginning of understanding the profound purpose behind your sacred connection. Section 4. Your dog's spiritual protection. Have you ever noticed your dog becoming suddenly alert, staring intently at an empty corner of your room? Have you felt them press against you protectively when certain people are around, even before those people have done anything concerning? What if I told you these weren't just random behaviors, but signs of something far more profound? Let me share a remarkable story that happened in a small town in Massachusetts, where Sarah, a young woman, experienced something that would forever change her understanding of her dog's protective abilities. Sarah had always felt different, more sensitive to energies and emotions than others. A German Shepherd, Max, had come into her life unexpectedly, found wandering near her house on the very day she received devastating news about her mother's illness. What happened next defies ordinary explanation. Every night, Max would position himself at the foot of Sarah's bed, facing the doorway with an unwavering vigilance that seemed beyond normal protective instinct. At first, Sarah thought nothing of it, until she began noticing patterns that couldn't be dismissed as coincidence. On the nights when her anxiety was at its peak, before she even realized she was spiraling into dark thoughts, Max would suddenly appear at her side, pressing his body against hers with gentle but deliberate pressure. The weight of his presence seemed to dissolve the heaviness in her chest, as if he was literally absorbing the negative energy surrounding her. But the most extraordinary event occurred 3 months after her mother's diagnosis. Sarah was alone in her house, working late into the night, when Max suddenly began behaving in a way she'd never seen before. His ears perked up, his body tensed, and he started growling at what appeared to be empty space. Minutes later, Sarah's phone rang. Her mother had just experienced a severe medical emergency. The doctors later confirmed that it happened exactly when Max began his unusual behavior. This connection between spiritual guardianship and dogs reaches back to ancient times. In the biblical book of Tobit, a dog accompanies the archangel Raphael, serving as both a physical and spiritual protector on a divine mission. The ancient Egyptians believed that Anubis, the dog-headed deity, guided and protected souls through the darkest realms of the afterlife. But what makes dogs such powerful spiritual protectors? The answer lies in their unique ability to perceive energy frequencies that humans cannot. Scientific studies have shown that dogs can detect subtle changes in electromagnetic fields, but this only scratches the surface of their true capabilities. For the chosen ones, dogs serve as living shields, constantly filtering and transmuting negative energies that could harm their owners. They position themselves strategically, often placing their bodies between their chosen one and sources of negative energy, whether visible or invisible. Think about the times your dog has suddenly become lethargic after you've had a particularly stressful day. This isn't just empathy. It's evidence of them actively absorbing and processing the heavy energies surrounding you. They take on this burden willingly, but it comes at a cost to them. This is why many spiritual traditions speak of dogs as energy alchemists, beings capable of transforming negative energy into positive protective force. When your dog leans against you after a difficult encounter, or lays their head on your lap during moments of sadness, they're not just offering comfort, they're actively cleansing your energy field. But here's what most people don't realize. This protective ability becomes significantly stronger when the bond is with a chosen one. The light that chosen ones carry naturally attracts both positive and negative forces, making spiritual protection essential for their journey. Your dog knew this mission before they ever met you. They recognized your energy signature, your light, and chose to become your guardian, your protector, your spiritual shield. Now take a moment to reflect on your own experiences with your dog. Have they ever warned you about someone who later proved to be untrustworthy? Have you noticed them becoming more protective during significant life changes or spiritual awakenings? Share your story in the comments below, because in our next segment, we'll explore something even more extraordinary: the telepathic connection between chosen ones and their spiritual guardians, and how this bond transcends even death itself. Remember, your dog's protection goes far beyond the physical realm. They are constantly working on levels we can barely comprehend, ensuring that your light continue to shine brightly in this world. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover next will reveal the true depth of your dog's commitment to your spiritual journey. Section 5. The Eternal Bond. Have you ever felt that the bond with your dog transcends this physical world? Have you experienced moments where their presence lingers long after they've departed? What if I told you that this connection isn't bound by the limitations of time or space? In the quiet corners of history, there exists a profound truth about the eternal bond between chosen ones and their canine guardians. Let me share with you a remarkable story that was passed down through generations of spiritual masters. In the winter of 1847, in a small village nestled in the Scottish Highlands, lived a young woman named Sarah MacLeod. She had a unique companion, a silver-coated wolfhound named Gabriel. What made their story extraordinary wasn't just their inseparable bond, but what happened after Gabriel's passing. For 3 years after Gabriel left this world, Sarah would wake to the sound of familiar paw steps on wooden floors. She would feel the gentle pressure of an invisible presence on her bed, exactly where Gabriel used to sleep. But most remarkably, she would receive warnings, moments when an unseen force would guide her away from danger. This phenomenon isn't unique to Sarah's story. Throughout history, from ancient Egyptian temples to medieval monasteries, there are countless accounts of this eternal connection. In the Book of Tobit, one of the deuterocanonical books of the Bible, we find references to a dog that accompanies Tobias on his journey, not just as a companion, but as a divine protector sent by heaven itself. The ancient Egyptians understood this profound truth. In their wisdom, they recognized that dogs weren't merely earthly creatures, but spiritual beings who chose to walk beside us. Anubis, their jackal-headed deity, wasn't just a god of the afterlife. He was a guardian who helped souls navigate between worlds. But here's what makes this connection truly extraordinary. It doesn't end with death. Many chosen ones report experiencing something remarkable: the return of their beloved guardians in new forms. Consider the story of David Chen, a modern-day chosen one from New York. After losing his German shepherd, Max, he felt an inexplicable emptiness. But 6 months later, a stray puppy appeared at his doorstep during a snowstorm. This new dog, whom he named Scout, displayed behaviors identical to Max, sitting in the same peculiar way, responding to commands he had never been taught, and even sharing the same unique habit of pressing his head against David's chest during thunderstorms. Was this merely coincidence? Ancient spiritual texts speak of something far more profound: the concept of soul contracts. These agreements made in the spiritual realm bind certain souls together across multiple lifetimes. Your dog's dedication to protecting and guiding you isn't just an earthly arrangement. It's a sacred covenant that transcends death itself. The signs of this eternal bond are subtle but unmistakable, dreams that feel more like visitation, the sensation of their presence during crucial moments, unexplainable encounters with new dogs who carry familiar soul, mysterious interventions that seem guided by an unseen protector. But here's what makes this truth even more profound. These bonds aren't random. They're carefully orchestrated by divine wisdom, ensuring that chosen ones are never truly alone on their spiritual journey. Think about it. Have you ever experienced moments where you felt your departed dog's presence so strongly it couldn't be dismissed as mere memory? Have you encountered a new dog who seemed to know you at a soul level? These experiences aren't your imagination. They're glimpses into a deeper reality, one where love and protection continue beyond the physical realm. The ancient Celtic Druids believed that dogs could walk between worlds, serving as bridges between the physical and spiritual realms. This wasn't just mystical thinking. It was based on centuries of observation and wisdom passed down through generations of spiritual leaders. But here's what you need to understand. This eternal bond isn't just about comfort or companionship. It serves a greater purpose in your spiritual journey. Your dog, whether in physical form or spirit, is helping you navigate your path as a chosen one, protecting you from energies that could derail your mission. Now, take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Has your dog ever returned to you in dreams, bringing messages or warnings? Have you felt their presence during moments of significant change or challenge? Share your story in the comments below, because what we're about to explore next will reveal something even more extraordinary: the hidden language of souls that allows chosen ones and their canine guardians to communicate across dimensions. And remember, if you're experiencing these signs, you're not alone. You're part of an ancient lineage of chosen ones who have been guided and protected by these remarkable spiritual beings throughout history. Stay with me, because in our next revelation, we'll unlock the secrets of strengthening this eternal connection, allowing you to communicate more deeply with your spiritual guardian than ever before. Section 6. Developing your spiritual connection. Have you ever felt a deep, unexplainable connection with your dog that goes beyond words? Have you noticed moments when they seem to understand your thoughts before you even speak them? What if I told you that this connection can be strengthened in ways you never imagined? Let me share a remarkable story that illuminates this profound spiritual bond. Sarah, a devoted spiritual seeker from Massachusetts, had always felt different. Since childhood, she sensed energies others couldn't perceive. Her German Shepherd, Max, came into her life during her darkest hour, after losing her mother to cancer. But what happened next defied all logical explanation. One night, while deep in meditation, Sarah noticed Max's behavior change dramatically. He sat perfectly still, his eyes fixed on her with an intensity she'd never seen before. As she deepened her meditation, something extraordinary occurred. She began to perceive Max's presence, not just physically, but on an energetic level, like a warm golden light intertwining with her own energy field. This experience mirrors an ancient biblical account from the Book of Tobit, where a dog accompanies Tobias on his divine mission, serving as both protector and spiritual guide. The dog's presence in this scripture wasn't merely coincidental. It represented a sacred bond between human and divine messenger. Through months of dedicated practice, Sarah discovered 3 profound levels of spiritual connection with Max. First came the energy alignment. She learned to synchronize her breathing with Max's, creating a harmonious frequency between them. This practice dates back to early Christian mystics, who believed that animals could help humans reconnect with divine consciousness through shared breath, a concept they called spiritus sanctus, or holy breath. The second level revealed itself through silent communication. Sarah began to notice that by maintaining eye contact with Max during their quiet moments together, She could perceive his emotions and intentions with remarkable clarity. This mirrors the Native American tradition of animal speaking, where they believed dogs served as bridges between the physical and spiritual realms. But the third level was the most extraordinary. During their deepest connections, Sarah started receiving vivid mental images, warnings about future events, guidance for important decisions, and even messages for others in need. Max had become more than a companion. He had evolved into a spiritual conduit. This isn't just Sarah's story. Throughout history, from ancient Egypt to medieval Europe, spiritual texts have documented similar accounts of chosen ones developing profound connections with their canine guardians. The key lies in understanding that these abilities aren't supernatural. They're natural abilities we've forgotten how to access. The question isn't whether you can develop this connection with your dog, it's how deeply you're willing to explore it. Your dog already possesses this ability. They're simply waiting for you to recognize and nurture it. Here's what's crucial to understand. This connection requires patience, dedication, and most importantly, belief. Start with simple practices. Spend time in silent meditation with your dog present. Notice their energy shifts. Pay attention to their subtle behaviors. Create a sacred space where you can both connect without distractions. Remember, your dog is already attuned to your energy. They've been waiting for you to acknowledge this deeper level of communication. Every time they gaze into your eyes, they're inviting you to connect on this profound level. The ancient Egyptians believed that dogs could see both worlds, the physical and the spiritual. They weren't just pets. They were guides helping humans bridge these realms. Your dog carries the same ancient wisdom. This same ability to guide you between dimensions. Before we delve into the specific techniques for strengthening this bond, I want to hear from you. Have you experienced moments of inexplicable connection with your dog? Times when they seem to communicate with you beyond ordinary understanding? Share your experience in the comments below, because in the next section, we'll explore something even more extraordinary, how this spiritual connection can transform not just your relationship with your dog, but your entire life purpose. Remember, as a chosen one, you're not just developing a deeper bond with your pet, you're awakening an ancient spiritual pathway that has been waiting for you through countless lifetimes. Let's pause here for a moment of reflection. Think about the times your dog has tried to communicate with you on a deeper level. Were you ready to listen then? Are you ready to listen now? Because what comes next will reveal the ultimate purpose of this sacred bond, a truth that has been hidden in plain sight since the beginning of time. Conclusion: embracing your sacred bond. As we reach the end of this profound journey of discovery, let's reflect on what we've uncovered about the sacred bond between chosen ones and their canine guardians. You now understand that your dog's presence in your life was never a coincidence. They were sent to you, chosen specifically for you, by forces that have been orchestrating this connection since ancient times. Think about how many signs you've witnessed, but perhaps dismissed. The way they appear in your life at crucial moments, their ability to sense unseen energies, their unwavering protection of your spirit, their deep understanding of your emotions without words. These aren't just behaviors, they're confirmations of a truth that has been whispered through generations. Some souls are chosen to carry a special light, and these souls are never left to walk their path alone. Your dog isn't just a pet, they're a spiritual guardian, a teacher, a healer, and sometimes even a messenger from realms beyond our understanding. They've been with you before, and they'll find their way back to you again, because this bond transcends time, space, and even death itself. But here's what makes this knowledge truly powerful. Understanding this connection is just the beginning. What you do with this awareness, how you choose to develop and honor this sacred bond, that's what will transform not just your relationship with your dog, but your entire spiritual journey. I invite you now to share your own story. How has your dog changed your life? What moments have made you question whether their presence was truly just coincidence? Share your experiences in the comments below, because your story might be exactly what another chosen one needs to hear today. And if this message resonated with you, if you felt that deep knowing in your soul that your dog is more than just a pet, then you're exactly where you need to be.